Good morning and welcome. It is Saturday the 26th of November. I am Flat Cap Callum and I'm hoping you are all very, very well. Alrighty, coming up today we've gone normal steaks. I've got a £20 steak for the day. It's split a standard Lucky 15, a slightly lower steak Lucky 15, and then I've got a Lucky 31 at Wolverhampton. So we are putting almost half the steak at Wolverhampton, which shows you again. Saturday it looked like it could have been better, and it's just dropped off. And there's more non-runners gone in this morning. It's just frustrating at the moment. The horse is just there's sort of the field sizes is just not quite there. Really showing up the low amount of horses that are running on the jumps in the UK. The Irish numbers aren't too bad, but in the UK the field sizes are just not great. So we will navigate best we can. It means there's less likely to be bigger stake days as we go forward and until it picks up a little bit. So I'm happy with what I've got, but it's slimmer pickings, I would say. As far as today's bets, I should say as well. 12 o'clock is the first race, so 12 o'clock Gowran Park is the first race. So it was an earlier one as well. As far as yesterday goes, it was another bad day. This week's sort of going like last week. We had a nice start on a Wednesday, and then Thursday, Friday weren't good. And then we got back to the week. We started the weekend about level last week, same this week, and we ended up losing. But we've literally got 3 days of the Channel month left. So we've got today, Sunday, and next Wednesday to turn this round to prevent it being the worst Channel month of the year. But yeah, it's just... It goes like this. Sometimes it's just fun and you think, wow, and anything you pick's going to win or place, and it's great. And then other times it's a slog, and it's not even like we're losing heavily because the racing's not been great, so it's sort of been slimmer pickings. It's just, it's just sort of feels a bit hard work. And generally yesterday there were small prices, and then you had a couple pop up, massive. Yeah, all right, yesterday, let's run through it. I had it as 15 on 109 back. You would have got about £3 back if you'd done a bog bookie. So we only had Florence Thompson so it wasn't Florence Thompson. It was Moss Hayeb and Tai Sing Ye both placed, but both drifters 14s and 22s, 22 to 1. Makes no sense that. I can't explain how that horse drifted to 22 to 1. It makes no sense to me, but it was a much better price. So that was it. And then, the bigger price one, no. And then the combination bet got sunk because the first legs got turned over, and then it didn't matter that Moss Hayeb and Tai Sing Ye were there. We're just slightly behind now for the week. Let me get the bets. It feels like the temperature's getting cold. I've got my hat on inside, and the horses are going cold. Not just my selections, just they're not even fancying running. So, what have I got for today for the channel? Starting here, this is the lower stake Lucky 15 for the afternoon. We've got 12 o'clock Gowran Park, Volcano, 28 to 1, standard term race. 12:30 Newcastle, well above par, 18 to 1, standard term race. And then we've got the 155 Newbury. Now, it's worth having a little look there because there's more and more non-runners every time I look at that race. So Dorking Boy's now 22 to 1. There's not many bookies left paying 4 places. So at the time when I wrote that originally, 365 and Coral were good, but I would put a warning on, have a shop around and look on Odds Checker or something, see which bookies are actually still paying 4, if any, on that 155. Sky will do right down to 8 places, 8 runners, but have a look around. And then the 305 Newbury, Diablo de Rouget, 80 to 1. It's a massive price. I talked about this on my other video, but it's a massive price, but I think it's worth having a chance on that horse. 15 runners before I did the video now in that race, paying 5 on quite a few bookies, 4 on most. I think it's just worth it that horse can snag a place. So 14 pence each way, Lucky 15s, and it's a 25p each way double on the bottom two. So £4.70, so just a smaller stake bet to start us off with. And then the standard Lucky 15 for the afternoon is this. 12.05, another early one, Doncaster, Zoffoli, we took it last time. It's done what it did last time as well, which is drifting the market. So I'm really happy with 33s this morning. Then we've got 250 Gowran Park, Rodney Bay, 14-1. Then in 305s, we've got 2 in the big race. Laudercore 12s. Finishing off the 320, Ardera Rue 10s. 20p each way, lucky 15. Standard bet. Sky Best 365, Coral Look next best. And then Wolverhampton, and really important bookie advice for Wolverhampton if you're taking this bet. So we've got a lucky 31. So we're starting the 520. So Glamorous Force. It was 16s last night, 10s this morning. Just before I did the video, it crashed into 11-2. So I don't do it very often. But what I've done for the channel bet is I've taken SP because I'm convinced that horse won't go off 11-2. I think what happens sometimes when horses' prices crash, they tend to bounce back a little bit. So I'm taking the SP on that one because I think Glamorous Force will go bigger than 11-2. So we'll start that one there. Then we've got 650 Visibility 14s, 720 Segre 16s, 750 River Chorus 28s, and 820 Dubai Imo 20s. 15 pence each way, lucky 31. Now, Sky are 4 on all of those races. Paddy and Betfair are 4 on the next ones. Paddy, you would get bog on an accumulator at Wolverhampton. Betfair, you don't get bog on an accumulator, full stop. So if you're happy to risk that one, then Paddy with bog is best with this probably. Then Sky, then Betfair, because Betfair you won't get that place on that one, if that makes sense. So it's worth having a look around. But the other caveat on this one, for those of you who are into the detail, any of these like have a couple of non-runners, Sky will continue to pay 4th place. Paddy and Betfair, the way their market works is there are 11 runners in those 4 races. 1 non-runner, they'll go down to standard terms. So that's a bit of a watch out. They'll go down to 3 places with just 1 non-run runner in any of those 4 races, whereas Sky's got a little bit better threshold. Okay, so that is bet free. That is 9.30 your bet. And that's it. I'll leave it there. So tomorrow, it looks weak. The meeting in Ireland looks there's a couple of races definitely worth a look at. The UK racing looks poor again tomorrow. So we'll just make the best of what we do. And if it doesn't mean the selections are necessarily going to be poor, it just means I've got less to pick with. Fingers crossed I'll be able to pick out 4 horses at least in a bet tomorrow, but I'm not making any guarantees. We will see what comes with. And I just feel like I'm starting to get a bit of a cold, and I could do with not getting that. So hopefully my little sniffles this morning will pass by the morning. Tomorrow morning. Yeah, all right. Grand. So let's hope we can have something going on, because we've had like 1-2 good day in November. It's been a bit rubbish. Now I'm fully aware, and I know I keep saying this and people think I'm a broken record. It's all there for context, because you can look at someone's tips for a day, a week, a month, and make a judgment and think they're not very good, or make a judgment and think they're really good. That is why I keep a really full profit and loss for the channel, and that is why most other places you see do not keep a profit and loss, because over the time it doesn't necessarily show a good result. So everyone has a good day, a good week, a good month. I'm trying to demonstrate long term, and November at the moment feels like my month to not have a good month. If you don't buy into that, that's fair enough. There's lots of other places you can go, but I know a lot of people who watch the channel get that and accept it's a bad month. But equally, if it blows people's mind, the fact that how can you have loads and loads of good months and it just goes bad? It's just the way it goes. You can't. It's not like I've got a crystal ball. I've got ways of picking, which just absolutely stand by. But bring on next week when the all weather comes back. This week I've missed the all weather. Dundalk, we had one good day, one terrible day. We'll have the rest of the UK coming back with all weather next week. That'll be lovely. All right, I'll leave it there. See you in the morning. Thank you very much. Bye bye.